Всем привет, друзья! Мы продолжаем играть в первый Kingdom Come Deliverance. Как вы помните, в прошлой серии мы игру, по сути, закончили. Но у нас здесь есть некий такой эпилог, в который мы сейчас сходим и посмотрим. Так, это наша комната теперь. Правильно? Или стоп? Хрен знает. Какие карманы, блядь? Ты дурак, что ли? Это шутка какая-то?
You want to pick over my personal effect?
Come now, no need for that.
Я закончил игру. Я сын Рацига, блядь. А он мне карманы обыскивает. Пиздец. И опять бесконечная загрузка. Здорово. Здорово. Пошел ты нахуй.
Ah, Hal. Are you going to the meeting with Margrave Jobst as well?
I am. What about Istvan? I assume...
That we didn't catch him? No. Because if we had, you'd be the first one to know. Have no fear. We'll get him eventually.
I hope you're right. Anyway, let's go and see what Jobst wants from us.
My lords, Christ's blessings on you all.
And on you, Lord Gapen. And this is my son, Henry. I didn't know you had a son, Sir Redzig.
It came as a bit of a surprise to young Henry, too.
This gentleman here is John II of Liechtenstein, a member of my council.
I'm honored, gentlemen.
Come join us. Margrave Jobst was just about to tell us the reason for his visit. Your Grace?
I'm sure we're all agreed, Your Graces, that all this unrest must come to an end. This kingdom needs a king.
The question is, which king?
My cousin, Wenceslas IV, who is being held in captivity.
I have to confess, my lord, that your answer surprises me a little. If I'm correctly informed, until recently you sided with your other cousin, Sigismund.
That I cannot deny, and I have always stated my position plainly. But times have changed.
How have they changed, Your Grace?
Sir, there is one thing on which we undoubtedly concur. That King Wenceslas, unfortunately, did not inherit his father's gift for governing. Sadly, his failures have cost Bohemia, the nobles, and our whole Luxembourg family a great deal of money and effort.
How did the king let it go so far, damn it?
It's in his temperament. He cares only for wine, women, and the hunt. A king, in fact, who never wanted to be king.
Then why didn't he just let his brother have the crown?
Young sir, the crown weighs heavy when there are duties to be performed, but to surrender it means giving up great privileges, too.
But he did surrender power to his brother. When things started getting out of hand, Wenceslas appealed to Sigismund for help in restoring order.
What, you're saying Wenceslas has invited him here?
This is starting to make my head spin.
Actually, it makes sense when you think about it. Sigismund wanted to re-establish the power of the whole House of Luxembourg. He thought if he helped Wenceslas win the imperial crown, In return, his brother would help him become the king of the Romans, and leave the actual reign of Bohemia and the empire to him. Sigismund would govern, while Wenceslas could carry on doing what he was best at, enjoying the life of the imperial court.
Why wasn't Wenceslas crowned Holy Roman Emperor long ago? He was already elected king of the Romans. All he had to do was go and let the Pope put the damn imperial crown on his head.
Who knows? Maybe he'd prefer hunting and consorting with bathhouse wenches to spending time with the Pope.
Well, so would I must admit.
Sigismund's plan seemed sound enough, but it didn't quite work out, did it?
It worked for a while. He and his brother reached an agreement. Sigismund took over administration of the kingdom and began planning Wenceslas's journey to Rome for the imperial coronation. But then Wenceslas realized he would just be a puppet with a crown.
I must say, Margrave Jobst, Wenceslas and Prokop behave rather like naughty children in need of a good clout about the ears.
Sigismund would agree. He was already planning his rule of Bohemia, and all of a sudden, the rug was pulled from under him. I'd say he lost his patience and decided he'd drag Wenceslas to the coronation kicking and screaming if he had to. Just like a naughty child, as you say.
So he abducted him and your brother Prokop too, if I heard correctly.
Correct.
And you helped him do it, if I heard correctly.
Yes, your graces, it's true. I was there when Sigismund abducted Prokop. I thought everything could somehow be settled, that we could make my brother see sense. But Sigismund just wanted to put an end to the dispute once and for all, whatever the cost. There was nothing I could do to stop him. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. The worst of it is that it was all for nothing. Instead of putting a stop to the revolt, it escalated it, and the result is this chaos we have today.
That's true enough, sir. But I must admit now, I'm not sure what your position is. The king is incompetent, but we must protect him?
The simple truth, gentlemen, is that for all of Wenceslas's faults, we have no one else.
So we'll have to make do with his idleness.
People like him, though.
But what can we do now? Sigismund has the League of Lords behind him. Otto von Bergov, Heinrich von Rosenberg.
The situation has gotten completely out of control. Now even the nobles of the League of Lords are realizing that Sigismund wasn't the right choice.
So now Berghoff is on your side. Are we to assemble an army together with him and face Sigismund on the field of battle?
We're not in Hungary now. Such affairs may be settled elegantly, without unnecessary hostilities or expenses. I have negotiated an alliance with the Hungarian bishops, the Polish, and of course the Czech nobility, against Sigismund. Every day he is losing the ground under his feet, and that's why I need your help too.
What kind of help, though? Sigismund has a massive army, and Rosenberg, Berghoff, and Prague are behind him. Do you have an army you could face him with?
But that's not what I mean at all. There's been a revolt against Sigismund in Hungary, partly due to my efforts. And now he'll have to choose whether he wants to gain the Bohemian crown, which is a very risky enterprise, or hold on to the Hungarian one. He can't have both. And there's a tough struggle awaiting him in Hungary. I'm not sure he'll win, and Rosenberg and Berghoff know it too. They're not stupid. If the Bohemian nobility stands together, they will turn.
We are men of little consequence, Margrave. Radzig here lost everything because of his alliance with Wenceslas. Sir Divish came within a hair of the same fate. Even Rattay is defenseless against Sigismund and the League of Lords.
What's more, your grace, King Wenceslas languishes in captivity in Vienna. He can't rule too well from there.
And what do you propose? To sit with your arms folded till the Bohemian lands are turned to ashes like Skalitz? We have to put a stop to this senseless war.
And do you know, sir, what the true position of the League of Lords is?
I'm not on the best of terms with them at this moment, so you'll have to ask them yourselves.
Yes.
Why not? I'll go and visit Bergov at his castle and we'll see what he tells me.
You know, that's not such a bad idea, young sir.
True. Though a little risky.
I doubt Bergoff would harm a blue-blooded envoy. And you can find out what he has to say about developments and what the League of Lords is planning. Then we'll decide what to do next.
I'll help you compose a letter to him.
I'd like Henry to come with me.
Why not? He's proven himself an able investigator, and he'll also be a good bodyguard if anything should happen.
And I'll send Sir John here to Gutenberg to be my eyes and ears there. I believe both your reports will help us get a better grip on the situation.
When can you set out?
Just as soon as I've packed my things.
Excellent. Margrave Yobst and I will draft the letter. Get ready, and we'll meet back here.
I expect it would be best to write it in your name as Lord of Lipa.
Quite so, Margrave.
What exactly am I to write?
Oh, what isn't really the issue. The question is how. We need to learn where they stand on liberating the king and ousting Sigismund. If they'll make trouble or join our side, but...
But we have to ask in a way that won't leave Sir Capon being run out of the castle with a whip.
Exactly.
How about writing that you're concerned about current events and that you want to see things settled peaceably, and then ask the opinion of the League of Lords?
Very well said, sir. And what they want to do about freeing King Wenceslas.
Whether they think liberating King Wenceslas IV might contribute to resolving the dispute.
So what do you think of it all, Sir Divish?
I think I don't know what to think.
That makes two of us.
If I didn't know anything about Jobst, I'd say he's right and absolutely truthful. But I've heard too much about him already.
Likewise. But I do feel he's the one with the best chance to put things right.
Well, we'll see what we learn from Bergov. If the League of Lords stands with Sigismund, then our chances pale, in spite of everything Jobst said.
We shall see. We shall see. So, it looks like you're off on a mission.
Yes, I can't wait.
I don't want to dampen your spirits, my boy, but watch out. These are evil times, and who knows what can happen along the way. Not to mention that Bergov is no saint.
Don't worry.
I know. You've shown you can fend for yourself, but do take care. You'll be traveling as Lord Capon's bodyguard. You'll be there to make sure nothing untoward happens to him. Keep your eyes peeled and your ears wide open. What Bergov tells you is one thing, but what you see may be quite another.
Rest assured, Father.
And don't get embroiled in anything else. Just hand over the letter, hear out his reply, and return.
Yes.
Very well. Bergov is at Trotsky Castle. I think you'll find it quite an eye-opener. It's one of the finest castles in the land. It's 3 days' ride from here, so unless you hit a snag along the way, you'll be back soon enough. Any questions?
I'm getting a bit lost in the Luxembourg lineage. It all seems a bit too tangled.
The Luxembourgs have ruled the Empire and Bohemia for almost 100 years now. Emperor Charles brought this land to prominence. When he was in power, things had never been so good. Wenceslas and Sigismund are his sons, but by different mothers. Jobst and Prokop are their cousins. They were entrusted with governing Moravia. But instead, they've been in a bitter armed feud for years. And now Sigismund's fallen out with Wenceslas. Wenceslas also had another brother, the youngest, John of Görlitz, who was most probably poisoned. They seem like a hot-blooded lot. It's hard to keep up with their affairs, since they tend to change their alliances from one day to the next.
Who is he really, this Jobst?
The cousin of King Wenceslas. He's the Margrave of Moravia. I admit I don't know what to make of him myself. Until recently, he was allied with the League of Lords. For a time, he even served Rupert of the Palatinate against the king. And now suddenly, he's reversed his position. I don't know what led him to do it, and one can't help being suspicious. It's best to keep a watchful eye on him. But he really is the leader of the resistance against Sigismund these days. We'll just have to see how it all turns out.
I'm a bit concerned so many people seem to think so little of King Wenceslas. You knew him, didn't you? What's he really like?
Well, There's no straightforward answer to that question. He certainly makes a great hunting and drinking companion, but he can be very fiery and impetuous when things don't go how he'd like them. He never had much of a head for high office. He finds it tiresome. But once a man's grasped the scepter, it's hard to let it go again. You can't just abscond. You've seen for yourself what happens when he disappears for a few months. Better a bad but legitimate king than a bloody war over the throne.
Who is this Prokop that Job spoke of?
Jobst's brother, the king's cousin. He and Jobst warred over Moravian supremacy for years. Then they were allies for a while, betrayed Wenceslas and sided with Rupert of the Palatinate. But after Sigismund abducted Wenceslas, Prokop fomented a revolt against him, and Sigismund had him captured. Politics. Make of it what you will. I, for one, can't make head or tail of it most of the time.
The League of Lords and that Bergow we're off to see. Who are they exactly?
The lords of the powerful houses. Heinrich of Rosenberg, Otto of Berghof, Heinrich of Radetz, and others. They're unhappy with the way their influence declined after Wenceslas surrounded himself with the lesser orders of nobility. They abducted the king years ago and made him bow to their will. They got away with it that time, and now they've joined forces with Sigismund and done it again. But now it seems that Sigismund's behavior is starting to rub them up the wrong way, so they may well be thinking twice. We'll see what Bergow has to say.
I don't know all that much about Sigismund.
He's the king's younger brother and king of Hungary in his own right. 7 years ago, he led a crusade against the Turks and was defeated at Nicopolis. Some say it was due to the recklessness of the French knights, most of whom were mercilessly slaughtered. Sigismund is ambitious and capable. He might well make a better ruler than Wenceslas, but he's arrogant, and to our misfortune, brutal. Not long ago, he himself was held captive by the Hungarian nobility. They dislike him as much as some of the Czech and German noblemen do his brother Wenceslas. Ironically, Wenceslas joined forces with Jobst to liberate him, and now this is how Sigismund repays his brother. There's no doubt about it, God does move in mysterious ways.
Rupert of the Palatinate. That's a name I hadn't heard before today.
Rupert is the Prince-Elector of the Palatinate.
What's a Prince-Elector?
The Prince-Electors are dignitaries of the Holy Roman Empire who have the right to elect the King of the Romans, who would then be crowned Holy Roman Emperor by the Pope. Rupert took the title for himself with the help of 3 other Prince-Electors, even though Wenceslas had already been appointed. Some of the nobility in the empire recognized Rupert's claim, but when he went to Rome to be crowned emperor, it turned into a fiasco. Now he's doing his utmost to get Wenceslas to acknowledge him, but so far without success. So, now we have 2 kings of the Romans. Jobst sided with Sigismund for a while, but now he's switched allegiance. He seems to do that quite a lot.
That young man, Sir John of Liechtenstein. Why is he here?
The Liechtensteins are a powerful Austrian family with estates in Austria and Moravia. Sir John sits on Jobst's council. Since the king's being held captive in Vienna, I suppose it makes sense to have a powerful Austrian house as allies. It could be very useful.
That's about all.
Very well. Take the letter from Sir Hanush. And good luck, son.
I believe we have written it well, gentlemen.
Without a doubt. No one could deduce from this whether we are Sigismund's allies or foes.
I must travel back to Brno now, but soon I will go to Brandenburg and I will stop here on the way back. By then, Sir Capon should be back and we can discuss how to proceed.
Right. Before you leave, my lord, there is one thing that gives me no rest. Why did Sigismund come as a foe? It makes no sense.
If I may, sir, I think I can explain.
Oh, please enlighten us, young sir.
I live not far from Hungary, where Sigismund reigns. It is a savage country, and the constant war with the Turks has hardened the people. They need a monarch with an iron hand. So when Sigismund felt the wind of revolt, he reacted as he would at home. Only what works on the Hungarian nobles does not work here in Bohemia.
Bringing order is one thing, but slaughtering and pillaging with a horde of barbarians quite another. What purpose does that serve?
But Sigismund did give the Bohemian nobles a chance to take his side. It was only when they refused his ultimatum that he lost patience and took to the sword.
As for the barbarians, he could afford nothing better. The Hungarian nobility would gain nothing from joining his campaign in Bohemia. He didn't have enough coin for a regular army, and so he recruited the Cumans. What he does not pay them, they make up for in plunder.
But in the end, he didn't have enough to even satisfy the Cumans. That's why he raided Kuttenberg and Skalitz. He wanted the silver.
That makes sense.
My lords, how's the letter coming along?
It's done.
Then we can be on our way.
Now remember what we said, boy. All you have to do is deliver the letter, listen to the answer, and come back here. Don't provoke Bergow in any way.
Provoke? Me? Never, Uncle. We'll be back in a few days. Farewell, your graces. Come, Henry, my men are waiting.
I wish you Godspeed.
Come now, Hal.
Поздравляем, вы завершили основной сюжет. Вы все еще можете выполнять сторонние задания или просто путешествовать по миру. А чтобы завершить игру, присоединитесь к отряду пана Птачика и ускочите с ним за пределы карты.
Damn.
То есть игра тупо вообще никак ничего не завершает. Никакой сюжетной линии. Она просто прерывается. Ну, задание, конечно, я закончу, которое вот начал. Этой, блядь, женщиной сумасшедшей точно надо закончить. Которой нужен священник. Он, кстати, в ледечко, блядь, не вернулся. Почему? У нас война вроде закончилась. Захват замка закончился. Естественно, выполнять задания по типу, блядь, мясо добыть, это все я не буду. У меня была идея немножко играть в эту игру на PlayStation, типа просто потому что мне понравилось, я бы не прочь там выбить какие-нибудь призы. Но я не знаю, дойду ли до этого вообще когда-нибудь. Потому что нет времени тупо. Просто простой ответ.
Yeah. Yeah.
Heal.
Good day.
Good health to you.
There's a widow being haunted by a ghost. Can anything be done about that?
A revenant. Tell me more about it.
For the last few nights, her long-dead neighbour has been paying her a visit in her house. She's tried to drive him out, but neither prayer nor spells have any effect. That's why she's turning to you for help, Father.
In the scripture, it's written that the dead shall rise again only on the day of judgment. I suspect it may be something on the widow's own conscience that's haunting her. Do you know anything more about that?
Well, she says it's the ghost of Alois, a farmer whose wife burned him alive in his own cottage.
My. That would make a soul restless, all right. But I believe there must be something else that's keeping the widow from sleeping. A farmer, a jealous wife. I'd ask the widow if there's not more to it.
My God, that never occurred to me.
How little you know people. Make the widow tell you everything, you'll see. And to make amends with the deceased as well as the Lord, tell her to erect an atonement cross.
Блять, неужели она виновата? Пиздец.
You ask as if you've fallen from the stars. An atonement cross. You often see them along roads. Reminders of reconciliation and forgiven trespasses. Suggest it to the widow and see how she reacts.
Thank you for the advice. It was very helpful.
I shall pray for the poor woman. And I'll be grateful in turn for any donation she may decide to make to the church. See you later.
Yeah.
Она мне только мозг ебала. И окажется сейчас, что она главная тварь во всей этой истории.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And hurry up. God be with you.
Yeah.
Так, давай признавайся, блять, а.
God grant you.
Что ты натворила?
I saw the parish priest.
And what did he tell you? Will he come and bless my house with holy water?
A better question is, what haven't you been telling me?
I've already told you everything.
I feel you haven't told me everything. Was there something between you and Alois?
There's no use denying it any longer. I was a widow and his wife Lada. She wasn't the kind of woman who filled her husband's heart with joy. Alois and I grew close.
So, fornication?
If that's what you want to call it. From time to time, we took comfort in each other's arms. Lada found out and began to make a fuss. They fought. You know the rest.
You bear a lot of the responsibility for Alois and Lada's deaths. Now I understand why he haunts you.
I know. I've thought the same thing every single day since he died. Alois left 2 orphans.
I assume his children know nothing about it.
They're already adults, but you're right. They don't know anything. Do you think it would help if I told them everything? That it would bring peace to Alois and he'd stop haunting me?
I think you're on the right path now. Make up for old wrongs. Atone for your sins. Erect a memorial cross.
You're right. I'll go and tell them the truth, however much they despise me afterwards. I'll do anything to get a good night's sleep again. Here's some money. Go to the quarry and order a cross be made.
I'll do that.
Thank you 100 times over. May the Lord watch over you.
Yeah.
Блин, он далеко допёл хоть. Блять, мне уже заебался. Ну, меня переход просто бесит, он медленный, нахуй. Так-то вообще проблем никаких нету. Ходить туда-сюда.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey. Greetings, good night.
I need to erect an atonement cross. How much does one cost?
10 groschen. We already have one such cross ready, so if you pay now, we can have it sent wherever you want immediately.
Here you are.
Goodbye.
What do you think? Will he come again?
I'm sure we've seen the last of him. Oh, feels so light I could float away at peace with the world.
That's a peace I have yet to find. As you've seen for yourself, shaking off the past isn't easy.
Here's a ring my husband left me. I don't even know where he got it, but it might be worth something. Take it, with my gratitude.
Glad I was able to help.
Thank you, and God be with you.
And with you. I hope you'll finally have peaceful dreams.
Без достижения? Но оно никак не влияет ни на что. Ну, хотя бы необычное. Ладно. Так, ну вот мы и закончили с ней. Блять, шарлатаном даже не знаю. Это он мне нахуй не нравится. Да и с мясом здесь я не пойму, что делать. Я его вроде все заменил. А все равно что-то не так.
Good day to you.
You look a bit worried, bailiff.
How can I not be? What with the whole village complaining about ghosts?
Ghosts?
An empty grave that they say a revenant crawled out of. They talk of nothing else.
You don't think there's any truth to it?
No, it's nothing but old wives' tales.
But how come the grave is empty?
You don't need any magic to dig up a grave. A spade will do.
But why would anyone do that? Surely no God-fearing Christian would dig up the grave of some poor soul who hasn't even got the piece of hallowed ground to rest in.
A God-fearing Christian? No.
So you suspect someone?
Could be. There's been a band of good-for-nothing itinerants hanging around recently. They weren't making any trouble, though, so I let them be. But this is going too far.
How do you know it was them?
Who else would it be?
What about the Revenant?
Oh, don't you start. That revenant of yours is nothing but idle hands doing the devil's work. I'd send them packing myself if I had the time and the men.
Supposing I help you get rid of them.
You look like you know how to handle yourself.
You bet I can. It wouldn't be wise to fool with me.
I don't doubt it, but I don't want any bloodshed in my parish. There's enough trouble already with one long-dead corpse.
Don't worry, Master Bailiff. I'll be the very soul of discretion.
Then I'll gladly accept your help. Is there anything you need to know?
Who are these people?
Just some itinerants who'd rather roam the roads than do an honest day's work. They're not cutthroats, though, just petty thieves and beggars.
What are they doing here?
Damned if I know, or where they came from. Except for one fella who's from Ledechko. But the rest are from God knows where.
Are they armed?
As much as any thief. Who isn't these days?
Where can I find them?
Last I heard, they were a bit away from the village, across the river by the old mine.
That's all I need to know. I'll get going.
Good luck. Good luck to you.
Я вспомнил-то это задание. Я давно его искал, но потом забил хрен вообще на него. Сейчас случайно встретил. Это отлично.
God be with you.
So, how am I doing so far?
Henry, what the hell have you done?
What do you mean?
You fucked everything up. The whole village knows what you've been up to. Now I'll have to vanish before they come to lynch me.
Как?
I still don't have 2 groschen to rub together.
No, you could have foreseen it in one of your visions, no?
Even if I had, I wouldn't have believed you could be so. May the Lord watch over you.
Но я это уже не исправлю. Вот так вот. Ну тогда все. Это последняя серия была. Да и с ними не особо нравилась линия квеста, блядь. Ну, такой мерзкий тип. Может, когда-нибудь в следующий раз я это выполню. А сейчас отправимся к птачку и едем в закат. И закончим с этой игрой. По крайней мере, на компьютере. Блять, если тачку я проебал задание. Я все проебал. Забавно.
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you? Take care.
Sir Capon didn't want to wait for you any longer, sir. So he left to go hunting. He said they'd wait for you in the camp by the road.
Если бы я с ним ехал весь этот путь, я бы с ума сошел. Поэтому хорошо, что мы не поехали.
Yeah.
How about it, Henry? Can we go? Are you ready for this?
Of course. At last I'll get to see more of the country and have a bit of an outing.
Quite. Let's get to it then. I finally have the feeling we're doing something worthwhile. We're helping to save the king.
Instead of saving his drunken majesty, I'd rather find that whoreson who murdered my parents, get the sword back from him, and skewer him with it.
Cheer up, Henry. I've a feeling you'll get your chance one day, and it won't be long in coming. Forward, men! Audentes fortuna juvat!
Так, походу финал именно здесь. Но это эпилог. Финал... Ладно. Неважно. Обозначу эту серию финалом. Эта надпись пропадет или все? О, наконец-то. Просто смотрю, что там будет. Понятно. Но это не в меню выйду, правильно? Это я выйду из игры. Ну, в общем, что хочу сказать. Как обычно в конце каждого прохождения игры я ставлю оценку. Но здесь все просто. Игра от меня получает крепкие 8 из 10 баллов. 2 балла. Ну, то есть, почему 8? Потому что, во-первых, игра не вылизана, и меня это раздражает. Квесты, блядь, какие-то с ограничением по времени, какие-то не с ограничением по времени, а какие с ограничением, можно не сразу понять. Да вообще не поймешь, блядь. Какие без ограничения, тоже не сразу поймешь. В общем, такая система конченая меня очень сильно бесит. Со всем остальным в игре проблем вообще нету для меня. Все отлично. Сюжет. Это, блин, этот сюжет весь, это как просто заготовка к следующей части. Блять, ну, в натуре. Так и есть. Интересно? Да. Глобально? Нет. Вообще никуда особо ничего не двигается. На месте потоптались и все. Игра просто не понравилась всем остальным. Персонажами, атмосферой, музыкой. графикой, к удивлению. Боевая система мне понравилась. Она не идеальна, но это нечто другое. Просто, блядь, в других играх нет такой системы. Может, что-то похожее есть, но в большинстве игр наоборот все другое, там более-менее все одинаково, у остальных плюс-минус. И здесь же меня порадовало, что, ну, по-другому все. Как-то так. На этом будем заканчивать. Продолжим проходить вторую часть. Может быть, не сразу, но в скором времени. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь, а главное комментируйте, чтобы я мог с вами общаться. До скорых встреч в новых играх, в новых жизнях.